One hit is all you need to make the money guaranteed, and you can live off royalties forever. And it makes me wonder, is it just a wonder, or is it one hit thunder?
Hey everyone, we're here for another draft. And I'd like to welcome my sultans of selections, my titans of track lists, my overlords of obscure albums and obvious choices, my monarchs of must-have albums, my wizards of wax and wave files, the core four of classic cuts. First of all, we'll start with the four-string fiend of fire records, the baseline baron of bangers, Mr. Matthew Milligan.
Whoa!
Yeah. Welcome to the draft, Mr. Matthew Milligan.
Oh.
Next up, all the way from Tinseltown, the comedy connoisseur of timeless tunes, the LA Laughsmith of legendary albums, Mr. Tony Hartman.
Woo!
Just doing shaka for all my boys.
And of course, we have the podcast producer of peculiar pronunciations, the accent accident waiting to happen, the phonetically challenged playlist pro, the drafting dynamo who says it his own way, Mr. Matt Kelly.
Yeah.
That was better than I expected. I thought you were going to give
great.
them big, long intros and then just be like, and also Matt Kelly's here.
And finally, I'm here too. I'm Chris.
Yeah, there you
go. I'm ready to draft some 1995 albums. Before we start, I'm going to start with this myself and my good bass buddy, Mr. Matthew Milligan. We're going to be playing some tour dates together coming up starting this weekend. We're playing at Sonia in Cambridge, Massachusetts. We're playing at the Ardmore Music Hall. We're playing at DC 9 in Washington, D.C., and we're playing in Asbury Park at
Wonder Bar.
Not in that order.
Not in that order.
Yeah.
Just check punchlineweedus.com. You're going to see the dates there.
Yes.
But yes, please come see the show. Come see both of us. Come congratulate us or yell at us for what's about to happen.
Yes, right. I want to hear some opinions. I want to hear some hot takes on what we do here today, because we today are drafting albums from the year 1995. Now, the four of us are no stranger to drafting albums. Matthew Milligan and Matt Kelly both have commented to me like, oh my God, what a stacked year. Tony, on the other hand, texted me last night like, is it just me or does 1995 kind of suck? To which I'm like, I don't know about that, man. So we're going to see what's going to happen here.
I took that back, though. I was not familiar with 1995's game as explicitly as I should have been when I said that, but I'm feeling better.
Okay.
It's not 1994, but it's pretty damn close, I think, for a stacked, especially for 90s kids, for grunge kids, for hip hop heads. There's just a lot. There's a lot to love in 1995.
Yeah.
I always go down the list of like what came out, and I just make notes of like, oh, here are things that I'm interested in. I have never written down so many.
Whoa.
I've never written down so many records. I just checked my list and I wrote down 50 albums.
Wow.
Well, and I think you told me this, and I'll repeat it here, but you said it wouldn't be a particularly fun draft, but that there are like albums that came out this year that are so specific to your interests that you were like, I would have just the pick of 5 albums that I adore that no one would challenge.
I could probably do a top 5 of stuff that no one else in the world cared about, and I would still be so happy. I would be so happy. I'm not going to do that because I want to crush you guys.
Yeah.
But I could.
That is my plan. For anyone who is tuning in to one of our drafts for the first time, here's how it works. We all have 100 theoretical dollars to spend to get 5 albums to try to make the best batch of 5 albums possible. Now, the rules are in round 1, you got to throw an album out for $20. So we're going to get the big ones out there at first. Second round, you have to start at least $10. Third round, you have to start at least $5. And then the last couple rounds, you can start at $1, and that's fine. We're trying to make the best batch of records possible. If you're not, I don't know, if you're not on Facebook, whatever, you can go to our Instagram. There is a One Hit Thunder Instagram, but Facebook group for One Hit Thunder is where you can really chime in as to who you thought won the draft, and we can kind of gauge who did the best from there. But anyway, this week, starting at $20, I want to start with the way I'm seeing everybody. I want to start with Matthew Milligan to throw out the first album for us to bid on, starting at least $20. You can go higher than that if you want, but
okay. I am going to start with my number one, which I think will probably not be an unpopular opinion. My number one album from 1995 is what I have said before and will say again right now, I think is maybe a contender for like one of the best, if not the best pop punk record ever made.
Ooh.
Ever, is Insomniac by Green Day.
Wow.
1995. And to show it the respect that I think it deserves, I'm going to start the bidding at $30.
Whoa.
For Insomniac.
35.
Whoa.
Because I knew something like that was going to happen. Okay. Just to fit, how about 37?
Oh, we are recording this on March 7th. So
we are recording this on March 7th, and I'm tipping the hat to my good buddy over here. I'm about to go on tour with.
Yes, that's right.
I'll go 40.
Wow.
Okay. I'll go 42.
God damn, you guys love this album.
I'm going to go 50.
Wow.
50?
Oh my God. I'll go 51 because it has 86, which might be a top 3 Green Day song.
Wow.
And Walking Contradiction's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'll go. What did I say?
51?
51?
51? I'll go 51.
Damn, you guys are going hard for the third best Green Day album.
55.
The third best. Sorry, really quick. Go ahead. What's 1 and 2, Chris?
Well, I think Dookie's obviously number 1.
Dookie's number 1, fair.
And then
2?
2 for me is Kerplunk.
Okay, totally fair. Totally
Is that
fair.
a hot
I was
take?
just curious. No. I don't think that's a hot take at all.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of most of what Green Day has done, honestly, but this record for me is just, I don't know why this is just the one for me.
It's because it's the most aggressive they have ever sounded. Like, this is 14 tracks in like 25 minutes.
I think Kerplunk is
so
maybe
fast and pissed off.
I think Kerplunk is maybe slightly more aggressive, but what I like the most about Insomniac is that it's aggressive while also still having all the hooks of Dookie. To me, like, it feels just as catchy, but also has just more teeth to it.
I also think this is when Billy Joe really started to become the songwriter that he is, where the stuff isn't as like point blank lyrically.
Agreed.
Like Brain Stew is a song about having a daughter and being woken up by a baby and how it reminded him of when he did meth. Like, like it's just like there's just like some deeper, more fucked up shit in the song, and that's why I said 55 for those of you who missed out.
What I like most about this album is it's getting all this money out there so early.
So early.
Anyone going higher than 55 for Insomniac?
56.
Wow.
60.
Wow, we're reaching Death Cab heights here. Or was
Such
it
great heights.
Yeah,
such great heights. Such great heights. 60. 61.
Wow.
62.
Wow, it could break the record. I didn't expect this, guys.
63.
65.
Wow. I didn't expect this.
What's the record again?
It's got to be right in this range.
It's broken.
Somewhere.
It's been broken at this point?
I think so.
Maybe, yeah.
I think oh boy. All right.
Get it up to 86 for the best song on the album.
I don't even I got to is it I don't even know if I can get it up to that number without like losing,
It's a bad
not
idea.
being unable to complete this game. All right, I'm going to tap out to Matt Kelly's demands, and I'm going to let him have Insomniac. Unless someone else wants to go higher than 65.
That was
Definitely
worth it.
not. Going once,
Definitely
going
not.
twice. Sold to Matt Kelly for $65.
Respect.
Wow.
Respect.
To be fair, part of that is because similar to Milligan, there are a lot of albums that came out in 95 that I am passionate about that I don't think the other three people care enough about it, that if push came to shove, I'd be fine just
You can
building
round it
the
out with
rest of-
cheapos.
building it out of cheapos.
That's fair.
All right, Matt Kelly, you're up next. You got to throw one out for $20. Hey guys, keep in mind we could really screw over Matt right now. Just let him
that's
have
fine.
whatever he throws out.
That is true.
So that's a good call. Then I'm gonna do this move. For $20, I'm gonna throw out Rancid and Out Come the Wolves.
I knew it was coming. All right.
30.
Let's not beat around the bush here. Let's do 37 on an Out Come the Wolves.
I'm officially bidded out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Matt Kelly cannot afford this. I'll go 40.
Wow. Okay. He's coming.
I like this record too.
Yeah.
Bass player.
Yeah.
I'll go 45. I feel like there's probably 45 tracks on this album. It's very long. Lots of songs.
Extremely
Every
long
song's
record.
great. Yeah.
I can't think of a better punk rock bass album ever.
Yeah.
You'd be hard pressed to name a better album for punk bass than Out Come the Wolves. I mean, this is
Although Green Day Insomniac has some great bass.
Sure,
lines
but
in it.
not. It doesn't have Maxwell Murder.
no, it doesn't
No,
have
it
Maxwell Murder, which is one of those. I'm sure Chris had the
Does
same
have Panic
experience.
Song, though.
Being a
It's a hell
young
of a
bass player and
song.
hearing Maxwell Murder was one of the most mind melting things I had ever. I just didn't even know that was possible.
One of the first bass, all out where like a bass line is like its own song. Probably one of the first 10 bass lines I learned like that was Journey to the End of the East Bay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
And I guess I'll go 46. I'll go 46 on this.
I'll go 47.
I'll go 50.
Okay.
Is this also, can you think of another bass solo with a cuss interjected into it?
That is true.
What a high state. You're right.
Yeah.
Of all of them.
That is true.
Yeah. It's a good cuss too. You got it.
It
MF.
is, yeah.
Cuss.
Perfect
Yeah.
cuss. I'll go 51 because I remember driving or riding with my older friends on Route 51 near Pittsburgh, listening to this album in the back seat.
Chris, I told you we were going to be like LeBron and Steph
Yeah.
10 years ago with this one. So I'll go 55, pulling up from half court.
Wow.
This is crazy to start these two records.
Yeah. But these are the kind of albums that will make people say you won the draft. Well, actually,
You are absolutely right.
personally, I think Rancid would be more of an album that if you had, people would say you won the draft over Insomniac.
That's correct.
I'll go 58.
60.
Wow. Are we really going to push it this far? This early? God dang it. 61. Is he gonna
64 like Nintendo.
Wow, 64. What did Insomniac?
65.
65.
Oh my god. Oh. I don't know.
Really
I don't
gonna
know
let
if I
this be $1 shy of Insomniac?
There's some good albums out here I really want. Can I still get them? Is the question.
Yeah, exactly.
If I do this. All right. I guess we're gonna say going once,
I think we are.
going twice. Sold to Tony for 64. Damn, were you trying to push me up or did you just want it for 64?
Of course I wanted it for 64. Like I would this is the album that when I saw like, oh, that was 95, I was like, okay.
All right.
I'm bought in on this year. So I feel good about this.
Okay. And now it's your turn,
Wow.
Tony. You got to throw one out
Wow.
for 20. We got Matt and Tony already on the ropes this early.
I know. Yeah, this is wow.
Well, we're gonna stray from punk, but in some ways, perhaps this is the most punk band that'll be thrown out there in the first round, and it's Oasis. What's the story? Morning Glory.
Oasis,
20.
what's the story? This is an interesting one because I have a complicated relationship with Oasis. Like I only got into this a little bit more recently, and I'm still like
Whoa.
reluctant to call myself more of an Oasis fan. Like, I don't know why I really resisted Oasis when they were at their
Were you a
peak.
Blur head?
More of a Blur person, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
I was, a young punk at this time, and I just wasn't into all the Oasis drama. I didn't think the band was good enough to warrant all the like people talking about him all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I had more money, maybe, because I love this record. I think that this is a really good album. Beyond the fact that you have like their 3 huge singles on it, like songs like Hello and Roll With It are really, really good songs as well.
Yeah.
In their own right. But I'm not dropping myself under $15 this this early.
Wow. Okay.
Well, I'm gonna. I might be doing Tony a favor right now, but I will say 21.
Wow, you bailed him out. I'm not going
Unless he really, really wants it. Because I do think this is a great, like, and the other thing is like Wonderwall, which is on this record, has become like a borderline like parody of itself at this point. Like, it's so hard to like, who could listen to that song with sincerity anymore? Like, I just don't know how you could possibly do it.
But it also has like "Don't Look Back in Anger,"
I was
which I
gonna
think
say.
is a genuinely incredibly well crafted song.
And Champagne Supernova, which I also think is just a spectacular. Like, in terms of the singles on this record, like there are still other like spectacular tracks on here. Yeah.
I'll go to. You did 20. I'll go to 22.
Wow.
It'd be a decent 1-2 punch, and I got to do it for the lads. So that's I'll go up to 22.
Wow.
I was thinking about the lads. That's what I was just trying to.
You got to consider the lads.
You got to consider the lads. Yeah.
Bold move. Okay.
I know. I am impressed. I honestly thought I thought I might have been doing Tony a favor there.
Yeah. No.
But now it's like he's called my bluff, and now I feel annoyed, and I'm wondering if I want. How much do I want this record? Okay. I'm gonna step back.
Okay.
All right.
I'm out. Matt Kelly's out. So I guess it's sold to
Tony's
Tony.
got $14 left to go.
All right.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay. And it's
It
my
is
turn.
a solid 1-2 punch.
It's my turn to
Tony's
Yeah.
Tony's automatically out on whatever Chris throws because he has to
That's
start
true.
at $20.
There's a couple of big albums that are probably now I know which one I would throw out, but I think I could get this one maybe for less than 20, so I'm not going to do it.
Cool.
So I think I'm going to throw out one that I think people are going to want, which is Alanis Morissette, Jagged Little Pill, which I'll start that at $20.
God damn it.
There's Matt Kelly getting upset. Here it comes. Here comes the feelings.
Yeah.
I mean, so quick whizzer behind the curtain here. That's what I was going to throw out there. And I thought, oh, for sure people will outbid me on this. So let me just throw Rancid that I know everyone is way more passionate about than me. Fuck. I thought we could get this to the 10, Trev.
Nope.
So close, Matt Kelly, but no.
I'll go 21.
Ooh. Okay.
I'll go 22.
I'll go 23 on this one. So many hits.
And again, to go back to what we said about Oasis, tons of hits, but also tons of non-singles that are great on this album.
Mm-hmm.
Forgiven, Not the Doctor, like those are really fucking good songs.
Not the Doctor is a great song. I mean, is there in the world of actual like pop music, there are not many albums bigger than this from the entire 90s.
I know.
Yeah.
Truly. Like, this is a game-changing record.
It is.
And that's why it's worth at least $24.
I'll go 27 on this. I kind of want
27.
this one.
I kind of do too, Chris.
What's funny is I didn't really care about this that much in the 90s. I didn't even own it. I loved You Ought to Know when it first came out. When I got it. I've bragged about this before. I was way ahead of the curve on You Ought to Know because it was on. Matthew Milligan seems like a guy who would buy CMJ magazine that had this little CD in it.
At one point in time, I did. Yeah.
That's how I found out about You Ought to Know. And
wow, I was not doing it back then. That's impressive. That's ahead of the curve. Yeah,
I was ahead of the curve. So where do we stand right now?
You're at 27.
I'm
You're
at
at
27. Anyone going higher than 27?
Yeah, I'm gonna do 30.
Oh. Let's go
This is
one more
officially out of
round here.
my
I'll go
belief.
31.
Ooh, wow. Okay. I keep getting outbid on this round. This is real. 33.
All right, I'm just gonna do it. Let's do 37 on Jagged Little Pill. Can you handle?
Oh, man.
Can you swallow that Jagged Little Pill,
Oof.
Matthew Milligan?
All right. Once again, I'm gonna back down.
Oh yeah, all right. I think that's kind of a bargain.
It's not bad. I'm just looking at how many other things I have on my list here, and I'm yeah. Enjoy.
All right. So now we've gone around one time. We're in the $10 round. We're going back to Matthew Milligan, who doesn't have an album yet, but can throw out one starting as low as $10 if that is his prerogative.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where it gets interesting. Okay, I'm going to do what I think is another big record from this time, maybe a slightly more divisive band, depending on who you ask. But I'm going to throw out for, and again, I even though it's $10 minimum, I still feel the need to show some respect. So for $20,
Ooh.
I'm going to throw out The Bends by Radiohead.
I'll go 23.
There we go. I'll go 25.
Man, I might think this is either the best or second best Radiohead album.
I always put this over OK Computer personally.
This is an interesting one, right? Because this is the most like just rock album that they ever really made. And depending on how you feel about Radiohead, it might be your all-time favorite thing, or it might be the album before they got really good.
Yeah.
For me,
I always say that I love it because it's a transitional album, right? Like it has elements of what was on Pablo Honey, but it also has like slight hints of what they were eventually going to start making.
As much as I love, like, I'm a big fan of Radiohead and I love like their whole catalog really, and seeing how much they've changed over the years as a band, but there's something about this record that is so incredibly just perfect for like an indie rock record from the 90s. Like, yeah, it's so good.
Where are we at?
Is this the one with the album cover with the guy with his mouth kind of agape?
It's like a crash test dummy sort of character. Yeah.
So
It's
90s.
got Fake Plastic Trees.
Yeah.
It's got High and Dry. It's got Just.
Man.
Just is such a good song.
I think I left it at 25. I think that's where we
I
just had
can't
it.
bid on. I
I'll
can't
go-
bid on it.
I'll go to 28.
Okay, I'll go to 30.
Okay. Wow. So Tony and Matt are out. They've
Yeah.
A
been
little
out.
Yes.
bit, yeah.
Do I want to? Okay. Now I'm scared because there's a couple albums I really want, and if I don't get them, I will probably put my fist through my computer.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, I'm out. You can have it.
There you go.
That it? $30
Yep.
for the Benz? I'm going to consider that a victory. Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
That is an
Yeah.
absolute steal. Also, worth noting on this record, My Iron Lung, another amazing song.
Really good song.
Street Spirit, Fade Out, even the song The Benz. Like, this is a really, it's great.
All right.
Hey.
I'm bragging now about the record I got.
Yeah.
Welcome to the
Kelly.
Lad Club.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm honored to finally have something in my draft here.
Cheers.
Yeah, so I'm torn here. I'm weighing my options, right? I can put an album that I really, really want and risk that every person who has more money than me also really wants it and then takes it from me. Or I can throw out an album that I think is a $10 album, but that I also think maybe one or two people will want it more than me and I have a better chance later on down the line. That's what I'm bouncing around with. And I'm going to meet it right in the middle. I'm going to go with an album that I will be thrilled to have on my list, but also won't be heartbroken if I don't have it on my list. Saw them live this summer and was blown away by how good they were. The Smashing Pumpkins, Mellon Collie, and the Infinite Sadness for 10.
Yeah. I knew that was going to be one of the ones this round.
Absolutely.
I'll go 12. And I don't even like the
Okay.
Smashing Pumpkins that much, but
I mean, it's got your favorite Smashing
It
Pumpkins
does.
song on it.
it
So,
does. 1979 is on there, so $12.
and I've said before, I think Tonight might be one of the finest, if not the greatest 90s radio single of all time. I love the production all over that song.
And this is two for the price of one.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Almost
Also
makes
low.
me wish I didn't spend so much of my money.
I
But
was gonna say, you need to, you can't even, you need to have at least $10 for your next turn, so you're out.
can I go
I'm-
just one of them? Probably not. One disc.
Yeah.
We want disc one only.
I'm gonna let Chris have it at 12.
Wow, going
Unless
once.
anyone else is jumping in.
Oh boy.
Going-
I think I'm gonna let it go.
Wow. Did I just get this for $12?
I think you did.
I think that is the steal
That
of
is-
the draft, actually.
I didn't even really want it that bad, but for $12, I'll take that all day. That's such a good
That's-
deal.
That's like when you're walking through the CD store in like the 2000s and you see like an album that you like know 2 tracks on, but they're selling it for $1,
Yeah.
and you're like, I'll buy that. Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like the story of every time Matt Kelly comes and stays at my house and goes to CD Warehouse.
Boy, is it. You think that's not going to happen when I come up in May for the Thunderbird show with me?
Oh, boy.
There we go. All right. Tony, we're to you in the $10 round.
All right. Well, I'm kind of noticing, obviously, we're on the other side of the grunge era, and it kind of feels like 95 is the year that alternative truly arrived. No need to fact check me there. But that said, post grunge in the alt era, I'm going to throw out the first CD that I ever bought myself. I went to the comic store that I lied to my parents at this time. I was probably 11 years old. I lied to my parents that I worked at this comic store in our town because I spent so much time there. And the first CD I ever bought from there was Foo Fighters self-titled, or just Foo Fighters, for $10.
It's a really good album.
That
What
is a really
songs
good
are on
album.
this one?
That has Big Me and I'll Stick Around.
I'll stick around.
Were the 2 singles.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's such a cool looking sounding album. Like,
Yeah.
it's definitely not their best, but like, it's just
Well,
very cool.
This is the album that is just David Grohl for the entire
Yeah.
Yeah, he
album.
just played everything.
Here we go with the David Grohl. Every time it's David Grohl.
I heard
respect it.
someone talk about this on another podcast, and I didn't even realize I was doing it intentionally, but it is very funny. Is they were discussing the show Friends, and they were talking about how funny it is just to reverse the preference in someone's name, and how funny like Matthew LeBlanc sounds, but how weird Matt Perry feels. Like,
Dave Schwimmer.
yeah, Dave Schwimmer.
Dave
Like,
I don't like the idea of like, oh, Dave Grohl, but his friends call him David. Way more formal. Way more formal.
So we're at $10 for this Foo Fighters.
yeah, if I had
self-titled?
more money to spend, I would go for it, because I agree with you. Like, this is it's not the best Foo Fighters album, but for like a self-produced, like,
Yeah.
this was like a passion project.
It is, yeah.
for Dave, that he was doing as far back as I think like 92. He started recording this by himself in his free time, playing all the parts. He plays every instrument and does all the vocals on it. And it came out really good. Like,
I'll go to 12.
Well,
Tony,
I
don't
can't
think you
do
have an
much
option.
more. Yeah. I owned it once though, so I
You had
guess
it for a
that
moment
counts.
there.
Yeah.
well,
Did I just get it for 12?
I think you did, because I'm not
Yeah.
bidding on it, and I don't think Matt Kelly is either, right?
No.
It's yours.
Great.
There we go. I would
I'll
rather have
take it.
Smashing Pumpkins for 12 over that Foo Fighters album for 12, but that's just me.
You know what?
I'm
You know what?
with you on that
To each
too.
his own. That's fair. I will say the last time I listened to Mellon Collie and Infinite Sadness, I got about a third of the way through disc 2, and I was like, "Please make this stop."
It doesn't need
It's
to be a
really
double
long.
disc.
It's one of
It'd
those
be a
records.
really good single disc.
I think they could have cut it down to 1, and it probably would have been perfect. I get it's like such a mood, the whole thing, but like at a
Yeah.
certain point, I'm like, man, this is like it is like 2 hours of music.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys probably thought this one was going to stick around and you could get it for a steal, but this is definitely a huge album for 1995. I'm going to throw it out there. No doubt, Tragic Kingdom, $10.
Yes.
A lot of good-
15,
I'll go 16.
18,
Ooh. I'll go 20 on this one. There's a lot of good songs.
22.
Ooh, he's liking this one. Man, Sunday Morning, Spider Webs.
I also would just
eat-
say, I mean, I said it about the Alanis Morissette record, and that was bigger for sure. But in terms of like important albums from the '90s, I think this ranks really high.
Yeah. Excuse me, misters, on this one.
I
I'll
was gonna
go.
say, excuse me, Mister. I'm always sad that wasn't as big of a hit as some of the other songs because that song is awesome.
I'll go
Yeah.
22 on this one.
He just went 22.
Oh, 23.
That was me.
23.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 25.
He wants it. Oh, man. There's a couple that I'm scared that I'll go 26.
Boy, oh boy. I just got that Foo Fighters record. 28.
Okay, I got a couple more bucks out of him. You can have it for 28. I don't want it that bad. It does have a lot of good hits on it.
It does.
Oh,
That's
man.
fair.
And with that, Milligan is officially lower than me on my finances, which is
Wow.
very exciting.
But I have 3
I
records,
also-
right?
Yeah, I have one album so far.
Yeah, I'm up to 3 now.
Now, is this a free for all now, or is
No,
this
this is
a $5 minimum?
$5
Okay.
before it gets to there. So now we're back to Matthew.
Yes. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with another one that I really, really love, and I think at least a few of you are gonna be on board for. I'm sure Matt Kelly is gonna want this. Is another, I would say, very important. We were talking earlier about post-grunge, right? Like this time of post-grunge and what that meant and the sort of things that came from that time. And for me, a big record from that time is this one, which is the debut by the presidents of the United States of America, with Lump and with Peaches and all kinds of wacky, weird songs. And it's $5. Yeah, let's just start it at 5 and see. Let's just see what happens.
I'll go 7.
Okay. I'll go 8 on that one. That's a fun one.
I'll go 10.
Wow, 10. Okay. I'll go 11. This is a fun album.
I'll go 12.
There he is. This seems so right up your alley.
I mean, this is very much exactly my sensibility.
So this album, I think I'm tapped on bidding on this one. So this is coming down to you and Chris at this point. But this album reminds me of my first car that had a tape deck in it, and this was one of the cassette tapes I had. And like, I probably bought the cassette when this album first came out, and then only listened to like Lump and Peaches. But like being forced to listen to it while driving, I was like, "There's really not a bad song on this entire like." It is just 14 really good songs.
I think
another. Oh, go ahead.
I was a Boy Scout, and I think at this time, and I think of like the Boy Scouts would just get together, and be like, "Hey, do you guys want to sing some Presidents of the United States songs around the campfire and like dance a little bit?" And that's what we would do. It's pretty beautiful.
Songs like Candy rules.
We Matt Kelly and I talk about this a lot on the Weird Al podcast, of just how Al has a real ear for this sort of thing. But I'm always blown away, and the Presidents, I think, are very much one of these bands like that. Just no one else sounds like them. There's something about them that is so incredibly unique and different than anything else. And that, like, as I've gotten older and like reflect on stuff, I'm like, that is the hardest thing in the world to do.
They built their own instruments.
Is be a three-piece rock band, that somehow manages to sound different than any other band. Quite like, that's just the hardest. That's so amazing.
It's funny, Matthew Milligan. I talked to your lead singer Brendan, about getting him and Chris from Presidents of the United States together on a podcast to talk about a song, because I think those two.
That was honestly one of our. Wheatus has always had the thing of like, we always get asked like, who'd you want to tour with, and we're kind of an odd band in that we're eclectic, and it's hard to know exactly what a great match for us is for the road. And we always were telling people like Presidents, like we wanted that. We were like looking for that tour for a really long time, and then they broke up before we got the chance to to ever actually do it. We did play South by Southwest together one time, like
Nice.
15 years ago or something like that. And I remember being on stage and playing and looking to the side and seeing the presidents watching us play, and I damn near fell over. I was so scared.
Well,
All right,
really
well, Matt,
freaked
you
me
have
out.
it for 12 right now.
12?
yeah, I think he's gonna get it. I'm out.
Okay.
Everybody out?
Yep.
You got it for 12. That's
I am very, very happy with that. Look at that. I was lagging behind at the beginning there, and now I have 4
wow.
fantastic albums.
Wow.
All right. I gave that up a little bit because I wanted to lower Matt's money pot for this $5 one.
I still have a bunch of money.
You do have.
I didn't buy any albums for $65.
That's true. But I feel like you're my biggest threat with this one. So I'm going to start at $5 for Primus Tales from the Punch Bowl.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of my
Yeah.
personal favorites of the Primus releases.
And you know what's funny? When I was first getting into Primus, this was actually like my least favorite.
This
But
was
it-
my gateway into them, honestly.
But it has, my gateway was Sailing the Seas of Cheese. And when I heard this record, I felt like it was a little bit less consistent, but it really grew on me over the years. And now I love so many songs on this record. Opening track, Professor Nutbutter's House of Treats, is maybe their best opening song on any of their records.
I would agree with that, yeah.
You just put that down for 5?
Just for 5, yeah.
I mean, as a bass player, I feel obligated to at least say 7.
I'm going to go to 10.
Wow.
I will do 11. Also in the name
I'll
of a
go-
Primus song.
I'll go 12.
Damn. Big Primus head.
Yeah. Do I want $12? I'm pretty much tapped out, and that's my 5th album if I do that.
Yeah.
Well, I a little bit can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm going to let you have it, Matt Kelly. Unless obviously someone else can chime in, but I feel like it's just the two of us
Okay.
being weirdos who want Primus records.
I'm good.
Especially, it has
Listen,
Winona's Big Brown Beaver,
Ooh,
which is
that's
the
a good
biggest hit
song.
they ever had. That was
Southbound Pachyderm, an incredible song.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I
yeah.
love Glass Sandwich on that. Like, there's some really good deep cuts on this one too.
One of their most underappreciated tracks on that, also on that record, is "Over the Electric Grapevine,"
Over the Electric
which is
Grapevine
a really, really good song. That is like no one would know that unless they were a maniac. Yeah, good job,
Okay.
Matt Kelly. Proud of you.
Yes.
All right.
I'm finally being strategic on the albums that I want and who I
Yeah.
think will get it.
Nice.
All right. We're over to Tony. $5 round.
Man, you guys got the Ren and Stimpy of music
Yeah.
with that one for sure. What a good year. Man, this is really making me think, what a good year to be a Boy Scout listening to music with a bunch of other boys. Because it was all so goofy. But I'm going to go with one, and I'm hoping no one will fight me too hard on this as the lone Cleveland boy on the call. And this is an album that I didn't truly appreciate until I was much older and smoked weed. And it's Bone Thugs and Harmony, East 99 Eternal for
Wow.
$5.
Wow. That didn't even hit my radar as coming out in 95. That's impressive.
We should have expected this from the thuggish, ruggish tone.
I know.
That's true.
I do love this. I just bought this record fairly recently, and it's really good. But I'm not going to take it from you.
I think I'm gonna step down on this one too.
Same.
All right, it's yours for $5, Tony.
I love it. Thank you.
Well done.
Cleveland in the house. All right, it's my turn. I gotta get it now because once I have this, then it's just I'm free rolling. Bjork Post for I'll start it at 5.
7.
13.
Ooh. Oh boy. 15.
20.
Wow.
Do you even have 20 to spend?
I do.
You do. I mean,
Well,
whatever.
I don't have 20 to spend.
Whatever. You're just trying to push up my price. You don't give a shit about Bjork. That's fine. 21.
I'm out. I can't do it. I can't do it. Incredible record. Incredible
It's
record.
one of my all-time favorites.
Agreed.
And it's not even my favorite Bjork album.
No, me neither. But it's still like, I mean, probably her most commercially successful overall record, right?
Hyper Ballad and Possibly Maybe are probably two of my top 10 songs of all time. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, she's, amazing.
I'm at 21 right now. So Matt Kelly, I
out.
think, is the only one left. Do you even have $22 to spend?
I have $23 to spend total, so I'm officially out at that one.
Okay, so I got it for 21.
Yep.
You got it for
once,
21?
going twice. Sold to me. Matt Kelly had to screw me over a little bit. That's okay.
It was a strategic move.
Oh yeah, I still have plenty of money. I can get whatever I want, I think, right now. But okay, we're in round 4. It means you can throw anything out for $1. You can start at $1. We're at Matthew Milligan starting us off.
Yeah, and this is I have 4 records, so this is potentially my 5th and final draft. As we said before, I could pick up something later and maybe drop something, but right. I'm thinking right now about what I want to round out my list here, and I have some rock and I have some pop, but you know me, I like to try to keep it a little bit more eclectic than that. There were a few really, really good hip-hop records that came out in 1995, so much so that I'm struggling to think of exactly which one I want to go with. But I think that I must give it up for Big Baby Jesus.
Yeah.
Old Dirty Bastard, Return to the 36 Chambers. Just amazing album by one of the most incredible unhinged performers of all time. Again, just to show some respect to the name, I'm going to start it at $5. I don't have to, but I'm going to do it anyway. $5. Return to the 36 Chambers.
If it was that album with I Can't Wait on it,
arguably a better overall record, although both of them are really good, honestly. Like
both of his solo records are fantastic.
Yeah. Anyone going higher than $5 for ODB?
I'm taking it.
Like I said, if it was the other album, I would have. I think you got it.
I Can't Wait is an absolutely insane. That is one of my favorite songs to even just play somebody. That is an unhinged piece of music.
Yes, it is. Not on this album, but
frantic,
not on this album.
Frantic, he just keeps repeating those lyrics.
It's just it's the best. The best.
Gotta love Big Baby Jesus. Okay,
right.
Rest in peace.
$5 to Matthew Milligan. We're back to Matt Kelly. What do you got?
All right, I think it's about time for this. I still don't feel perfectly confident that I won't get outbid on this, but I feel a little bit better now than the other times I wanted to play it. And because it's in their name, I'll start with $5. I'm going to go with the Ben Folds 5 self-titled album.
I'll go 12 on this.
Whoa, went right up to 12.
Man.
I'll go 15 on this.
All right, let's do 20.
Okay, well, now you have it. Congratulations.
Is anyone going higher than 20? This album is...
No one can go higher than 20.
That's why I save my money. Man, this is the album with Underground. Once again, I first heard Ben Folds 5 Underground on a CMJ CD from the magazine.
Good-ass song.
I was ahead of the curve on Ben Folds 5, too. But Uncle Walter's on this album. Philosophy. Alice Childress.
Philosophy's so good.
Alice Childress.
Boxing. The last song, Boxing, is a beautiful song.
Arguably one of my all-time favorite Ben Folds 5 songs, best Imitation of Myself. Song is so fun. Yeah. Such a fun album. I do like Whatever and Ever, Amen more, but
yeah, of course. But I got it. I got the Ben Folds 5 self-titled.
You did it.
Yeah. God damn it. All right.
To you, Tony.
I'll start for $1. Another album I don't think anything sounded like this before. That's Deftones' Adrenaline.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
Late bloomer on this one as well, but pretty awesome.
Bored.
Use it for $1, Tony?
Yeah.
Okay.
Man, this was kind of before they hit their stride of their sound. They were still pretty. Man, that song "Bored" is amazing on here.
Bored is amazing.
Yeah. 7 words. It's really
7
good.
words. Yeah, that song's amazing. But I don't think with only one album left that this is what I can spend it on. If it was the freaking Around the Fur or White Pony, that I'd be spending big money. But I think I'm bowing out on this one.
I will too.
All right.
Nice job.
Think you got it for $1. And it's back to me for $1. And oh boy, I got everything I really wanted, and I don't know where to go on this last one. So, wow. I'm going to go with, in retrospect, what I think is one of the best ska punk albums of the 90s,
Ooh.
which would be Dancehall Crashers' Lockjaw for $1. Surprised by that one?
A little, yeah. I didn't expect you to say that. That's I know that record and it's really good. That didn't hit my radar for 1995. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't get in Out Come the Wolves, so I'll have to take I got to get a ska album here.
Yeah.
Never dove into Dancehall Crashers, so I'm not going to go for this one.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
want
safe
to,
Ferris
though.
guy.
Yeah.
Oh, there's
Dancehall Crashers are awesome. They're a great band.
Yeah.
Way
I
more
agree
than
with you,
Safe
Chris.
Ferris.
Well, then, Chris, you and Milligan are both. I mean, you can still steal other people's albums, but you've got your 5.
Okay. And
There you
how
go,
many
right?
do you have?
I have 2.
Oh my God. Tony, how many does Tony have?
He has
I'm
4.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, we're back to Matt Kelly. Throw out an album for $1. If Tony wants it, he can. Or I guess I could drop it if I'm not going to, but if I wanted to, I could theoretically drop an album. So what's your dollar here?
I'll even do $5 because I do think this is a really good record. And I believe Milligan's toured with these guys and said
Ooh.
that they were mostly nice. Everclear, Sparkle and Fade. I really like this album. It's got Santa Monica on it, which is a great song. It's got Heroin Girl, which is a good song. Has, I think, one of the underrated singles of theirs, which was Heart Spark $, which is just a really well-crafted song. It's definitely not as good as the album that came after it, which is So Much for the Afterglow, but it's still a really good, like, they really found their sound after World of Noise and put out a pretty cohesive rock album.
They were mostly nice. I'm kidding. They were all very, very nice the whole time. No, they were great. And funny enough, I got into this band more on So Much for the Afterglow. I actually didn't really know Sparkle and Fade that well until we hit the road, and I was hearing those songs like a lot, and they are really, really good. My roster is full, and I'm not dropping anything for Sparkle and Fade, so I think that's that. But I will agree that they're nice.
Yay!
Tony, you're not going $6 on this?
I feel like I should, because at one point when I first got an iPhone, Santa Monica was the only song on it for like 3 months. But no, I'm saving my last spot.
Okay.
God, Santa Monica is a great song, man. That still hits really hard.
Oh,
That
yeah.
is such a good song.
All right. So we're to Tony. He's going to try to pick up his final album here.
Just quick rule check, because there is what many would consider a greatest hits that I could slot in here, but there's also something so out of left field that like I kind of want to just roll with that. We're strictly no greatest hits, correct?
I think we said compilations are okay, soundtracks
Okay.
are okay, but if it's a greatest hits,
Yeah.
then generally no.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, then
Hold on a second. Tony, is it an actual greatest hits? Just because I might also be going for this thing. Is it also a greatest hits, or is it a compilation of covers that has greatest hits in its name?
What?
it is literally called His Story.
Oh.
So no,
Okay.
but like I always thought it was really
Well,
funny that
No,
the-
you could, but that is an album of originals that the second disc is a greatest hits collection.
Okay.
fair. Okay. Well, with that said, for $1, I'm going to throw out the Judge Dredd soundtrack, which I listened to last
That's
night.
a really good soundtrack.
Do you, Matt, do you like the Cure song, which I think is just called like Dread or
Yes.
something? Like it, written for the movie. It's so good.
I mean, actually, let me correct myself. The Judge Dredd soundtrack is fine. I was thinking of Judgment Night, which is a very
Oh,
good
that's different.
soundtrack. Yeah, it's a very good soundtrack. Judge Dredd's fine, but yes, that Cure song, I do know.
The Judge Dredd. Wait a minute. I'm just looking this up myself. The Judge Dredd soundtrack has 5 original songs on it,
And then score.
and then the score by Alan Silvestri.
Yep.
I mean, Alan Silvestri worked with John Carpenter on a lot of the his movies. He's great. The Cure, The, White Zombie, Cocteau Twins, and Left Field. That is, speaking of left field, boy, Tony, that is a pull and a
Yep.
half.
Fight me
Okay.
for it. $1. Anyone?
No, it's yours, buddy.
So
Sweet.
That
Matt,
that is absolutely worth $1.
so basically, Matt, you're just saying 2 albums now.
I'm just saying 2 albums. And
Interesting.
you know what? I'm kind of okay with how this played out. So I'm going to take an album that was really important to me when it came out for $5, just to kind of bring down my total a little bit more. Because these guys were like my age and were playing on
yeah.
MTV.
I should also
Silverchair,
just
Frogstop.
I should also
Oh.
note in clear. Okay, that's fine. But I just, in theory, we could still bid against you.
True.
You
True.
could
And
still
take. We
bid
could.
against me
We could.
if you
could.
wanted to.
I'm not going to bid against you for Silverchair.
No, I'm not either.
But I really liked this album, and it was just like, oh, that's really freaking cool that these guys who are like maybe 2 years older than me are playing at the MTV Video Music Awards and have like a music video and stuff. And then for $1, I've referenced this album so many times in my podcasting life as a very important album. The Saturday Morning Cartoons Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
Which just features punk and alternative bands covering cartoon theme songs, and it's better than it has any right being. Face to Face does Popeye the Sailor Man, Ramones does Spider-Man on there, Sublime does Hong Kong Phooey.
Man,
Whoa.
you can have that one.
Oh, it's so good.
I threw in that thing like I thought I was going to have to fight for one of those 2 records. That was not the case at all.
No. But
we do have some stuff still on the table.
here's the deal. We're going to do the thing. The record store is just clearing out their inventory so you can run by and grab something out of the bargain bin right now for no cost. They're giving it away. We'll start with you, Matthew Milligan. What are you grabbing as your 6th album for nothing?
I am grabbing the self-titled Sunny Day Real Estate.
Oh, okay.
Sunny Day Real Estate's self-titled album, which I just adore.
Very emo of you. All right, Matt
Very,
Kelly,
very emo of me.
what are you grabbing?
Look, I'm an alternative rock boy. I'm going to grab the Goo Goo Dolls, A Boy Named Goo.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Tony. Well, I'm surprised. There's one in here I'm surprised you didn't grab.
I thought he was going to grab it when he talked about rap.
Oh, no. Not a rap one.
I'm going to be wrong with what you're expecting. I guess I'll go with my boys, one of my most formative bands for sure. This is probably one of their worst records, but saw them a couple weeks ago and they played M&M's and
This
it
is
was
what I was
a
gonna
pleasant
guess.
experience. Cheshire
Cheshire
Cat by
Cat.
Blink. Yep.
Yeah.
There's like sketches on that like they might say slurs in, like looking back. Like it's so raw. But as a teen, great freaking album. Well, I wasn't a teen yet, but I think I discovered it as a teen.
Well, along those lines, Tony, what I'm going to take for my bargain bin is All Pummel, which
Mm.
amazing
yeah.
album, but we're going to leave the song Hetero back in 1995.
Dear
Whoa, yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
I hadn't
And they
listened
would
to that
too.
album.
I will say they would
Oh,
leave
they
it
would
back
too.
there too, talking to
Yeah.
those guys. But otherwise, incredible album, so I'm taking it.
I remember listening to that album for the first time in a really long time, flying to California for San Diego Comic-Con, and that song came on, and I was just uncomfortable in my seat.
But that
As if
album,
other people could hear it. I was like, oh no.
that album has Million Bucks, Long Distance, Miranda, so many good songs. Some albums that were left on the table. I want to run through. I'm sure you guys have some too. No
Yeah.
Use for a Name, Leche Con Carne, Face to Face, Big Choice, Jewel, who has been a little strange recently. Pieces of You.
Pieces of You.
Yeah, Faith No More, King for a Day, Fool for a Lifetime. Matthew Sweet's 100% Fun. Tupac, Me Against the World. Joan Osborne's Relish. What else we got? Blind Melon Soup. Jawbreakers, Dear You. I can't believe none of us took ICP Riddlebox.
That
man.
was on my list.
Riddlebox.
Millen Collins' Life on a Plate.
Yeah.
Garbage,
Oh my God.
self-titled.
Yep.
Pavement, Wowie Zowie.
Yep.
Natalie Merchant's Tiger Lily. That's what I had on my list. You guys might have some that weren't taken.
Let's move to Milligan. We'll just do the round real quick.
Well, I took the ODB record, of course, but two other Wu-Tang solo records, GZA's Liquid Swords and Raekwon's Only Built for Cuban Links, two really, really great hip-hop records. Big year for the Wu-Tang guys. Everything Sucks by Real Big Fish came out in 95.
Oh, wow.
But that's not Turn the Radio Off.
It's not Turn the Radio Off, yes.
That's what was before that. It was basically
correct.
Demos of songs that would come on later albums.
That's right. But that was their like independent debut, basically, before they were like a signed band.
Right.
Different Class by Pulp with Common People on it, a big indie rock record.
Really good
Sonic Youth's Washing Machine. Super Chunk, Here's Where the Strings Come In, a personal favorite of mine. Clouds Taste Metallic by Flaming Lips. Another one that I almost took instead of Sunny Day Real Estate, the self-titled debut by Elliott Smith. A real heartbreaker of a record. Totally Crushed Out by That Dog. Tripping Daisy, I Am an Elastic Firecracker. Teenage Fan Club, Grand Prix, Supergrass, I Should Cocoa. Hums, You Prefer an Astronaut. Guided by Voices, Alien Lanes. The self-titled Elastica record. PJ Harvey's To Bring You My Love. King by Belly. Oof, man.
Belly. Hey, my friend John Bellin. I love. He always does the impersonation of the Saturday Night Live announcer from like the '90s. Who would like do the introductions, and he always go musical guest Belly. No, he always used Belly as the musical guest. They had that song "Feed the Tree."
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it was a really great draft.
I'm sorry. One more. The Magnetic Fields, Get Lost. I also have to shout out Magnetic Fields, Get Lost. Another very important record for me. That was one of those I was talking about. No one cares but me, but I would have that as 1 through 5 and feel good about it.
Wow.
Well, a few of the ones that I had that I wasn't going to draft anytime soon, but it was on my mind as I was doing it. I was a church-going kid, so like MXPX, Teenage Politics, DC Talks Jesus Freak, and though not a Christian band, the Christians claim them, Collective Soul's self-titled record.
Why? Because they have soul in their name?
Yeah, I guess. They sang about God every once in a while. Kind of not their most famous album or most beloved album, but it's my favorite from them. Wilco's debut album, AM.
Yes.
Has Passenger Side and Box Full of Letters on it, which I just absolutely adore those songs. My favorite Mariah Carey album came out this year with Daydream, that has Fantasy, One Sweet Day, and Always Be My Baby on there.
Okay.
Dishwalla's debut with Counting Blue Cars is a really solid record. And in the embarrassed to admit that I like categories, I had the Alice in Chains self-titled, the 311 self-titled, and the Red Hot Chili Peppers 1 Hot Minute. And then, I like to go out clubbing. So Real McCoy, Another Night was released this year.
Oh, man.
Damn.
Tony, is there anything else left on the table that none of us have said?
No. I think you named a lot of stuff from those like BMG compilation CDs, which like was probably the most valuable music real estate at the time for me. Like so many future faves came from those compilations.
Yeah. Also, you pointed out Wilco's AM. I also want to shout out Sun Volt, put out the album Trace. That was a big, they were in the band Uncle Tupelo, Jay Farrar and Jeff Tweedy, this big Americana pop country group, and they parted ways. Wilco was formed and Sun Volt was formed. The Sun Volt record was way bigger. Like Wilco's record was kind of a flop comparatively. The Sun Volt record was huge, and then immediately following that, it completely switched, and Sun Volt is, I think, barely active at all anymore, and obviously Wilco are doing very well for themselves. But Sun Volt's Trace is an amazing, if you're into like Americana singer-songwriter stuff, that's a fantastic record too from 1995.
I was going to say that story sounds like the At the Drive-In of Americana.
It kind of was, actually, and it was like people who were at least in that world were like betting on which band was going to be bigger, and it really in 1995 seemed like Sun Volt had it, and then no.
Well, for everybody who enjoyed this draft, one thing that I also have to implore that you do is check to see if there are tickets still available for the Wheatus Punchline Tour that's happening starting tomorrow. They're hitting Boston on Thursday. They're hitting Asbury Park on Friday. They're hitting Ardmore on Saturday, taking a break on Sunday, hopefully to hang out with your boy in Delco. And then they're going to Washington, D.C. on Monday.
Yep.
Tickets are available for some of those shows still.
Yeah, no tickets
so
for DC. That baby's sold out.
I think DC is sold out, and if you're hearing this and Asbury Park tickets are still available, boy, are they almost gone. So definitely get on it. Don't wait for the door because these are going.
Guys, what if JD Vance shows up for your show?
Oh man,
You think he's coming, huh?
he
He's an
might.
emo boy.
We always
He
keep
might
him on
ask
the
you
guest
where
list.
Your suits are. All right, well, we'll be back next week with a normal one-hit Thunder episode, but good drafting, boys.
Hell yeah.
Way to go. Way to draft.
Absolutely.
Good game. Good game. Good game.